Removing this pile of dust from my 2020 iMac turned it into a brand new machine and may have saved its life. And I had to use an unconventional tool to get the job done: a piece of paper. Let me explain. Over the past few weeks, I've noticed that when doing CPU-intensive tasks, my computer would freeze up and slow down a lot. So using Activity Monitor, I noticed that the kernel task process was using over 1,000% of my CPU. Now, without getting too technical, this often means that your computer is overheating. And while editing videos over the past few weeks, I have noticed that the computer seemed hot to the touch, especially right in the middle of the display. So, like a good Mac user, I installed the free Mac's Fan Control application to better monitor my fan. I noticed that my fan was running at full blast a lot, and my CPU cores were heating up to 90 degrees Celsius or even hotter, which is definitely the max range that you'd like to see them heat up to. Also, I noticed that my fan was really loud, which to me was a good sign because it meant that my fan was working. But once I cleaned my vents out, I realized that that fan was way too loud for this model of Mac. I tried all the basics first: SMC reset, software updates, system reboots. Nothing worked. So it was time to think about hardware issues. The first place to look: my fan vent and intake. And holy macaroni, guys, my iMac was stuffed full of dust. Like, this machine was seriously gonna burn out if I didn't get this cleaned up. The problem is that to get inside of an iMac, you have to use suction cups to remove the display. And during my time working at an Apple store, I saw multiple geniuses inadvertently crack displays while removing them from iMacs with the suction cups. So that is an absolute last resort. I decided to use a flashlight, a brush, and a vacuum. But first, I unplugged everything from the computer and I laid it face down on the desk in front of me. I checked the vent first, which is located in the back middle of the iMac, right behind the iMac stand. And there was a little bit of debris in there, but nothing that I couldn't easily remove with a brush. Then, I checked the intake vents, which run along the bottom edge of the iMac display. And there, guys, is where I found out exactly why my computer was overheating so much. My intake vents were stuffed full of dust and debris. I mean, look at this before and after image of the vents. I tried cleaning the vents out at first with a pretty long brush, but it wasn't quite long enough to reach the debris. And even at this point, I didn't even know if it was debris. I thought it was, but it almost looked like weather stripping because it was so caked inside the computer. But I decided to keep trying. So I tried to blow the dust out with a handheld blower. That didn't work, and I still didn't have a brush long enough. I even tried a Q-tip. I took off the cotton at the end, but the Q-tip was too thick to fit in the vents. Even a toothpick was too thick to fit in the vents. So what did I end up using? A piece of paper. I took a piece of paper and I kind of ripped it a little bit and I folded it so that it was rigid and then I had a nice kind of tool to get up in there. And I used that to dislodge all of the caked debris inside the vents. It actually is just one big vent, but it's broken up by those little plastic dividers. So you can kind of push the debris, from one side to the other. And so I used the paper in combination with the brush and the vacuum to clean out all the debris. I mean, look at the pile of stuff that I got. You can see me pulling out the debris from the vents. And now when I looked at the vents with a flashlight, I noticed I could actually see the mesh grid holes that you're supposed to be able to see, but I just had so much dust caked in there that I couldn't even see those mesh holes. And guys, the best part, my Mac is running so much better. It isn't freezing up at all anymore. It isn't even hot to the touch when I'm doing an intensive task. And really the best part is the fans are absolutely silent. Like, even when I'm exporting videos, I don't hear the fans. Even when I check in Mac's fan control and see that the fans are running full blast, I don't hear them. And so that's how I know that hearing them so loud before was a really good sign that they needed a good cleaning. I also noticed that in Mac's fan control, the temperature of my CPUs were consistently 5 to 10 degrees Celsius cooler than they were before. And again, the fan was completely silent even when it was cooling them. I really think the computer was about to bite the dust. And yeah, guys, of course, down the road, I may have to actually pop it open to clean it out. But because it's working so much better right now, my work here is done. But if you want to watch me pop open a MacBook Air to swap out the battery and get it all cleaned out inside, check out this video right here. I'm Anson Alexander. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.